For Alabama, we had a little bit different of a training trip this year than typical, mostly because the water, we knew we were going to get in the water right away at home, so we were less worried about mileage and more worried about our technical prowess, I guess. So we didn't row quite as many miles this year as we have in the past, but we did a lot more technical work, and I think that's going to pay off at the end of the season because right now we have the time to get the water time in, whereas during that trip we're usually kind of pushing water time because we're not going to get it when we get home for a while. So I would say we did a nice job working on our technical ability. I think we still left a little bit of our steady state and top end speed on the table, but we also kind of knew that going in. That was kind of the plan, looking at long-term, short-term. So I think the last couple weeks we've been focused a little bit more on our steady state, been focused a little bit more on our sprint work, and I think that's going to show up a little bit more this weekend, and it'll build as we go. I think it's taking the time to work on the technique. We had a pretty good erg season, pretty consistent erg season, lots of good training time. We didn't have people in and out like we have in the past. So I think taking the time to work on the technical aspect has really paid off as we've come back in to be able to really dial down on some important things as opposed to trying to hit a lot of stuff to get us back to rowing decently well to go to a higher rate. Now I think we can do it a little bit quicker. So we came back and then we take 2 mornings off, start back with our strength conditioning. We've been pretty heavy strength conditioning, lifting some more weight than we had kind of before spring training. We've been picked it up in this last kind of month. We did about a week on the ergs, and then we started to transition back to the water. We've been doing a lot of work on finding another gear and changing our expectations in the last couple weeks. And then last week was our first full week on the water. Got a little selection done by the end of the week, got some good steady state in. And then this week, steady state yesterday, we did some skill and drill this morning. We'll do some piece work tomorrow to get us prepped for Saturday. So Friday, since we're going to New Jersey, we're leaving early in the morning, going straight to the course. So we'll leave about, I think the plan is 6 and get there about 4-ish in the afternoon. We will probably try to go for a row. We'll at least get all the equipment rigged, ready to go for Saturday morning. Saturday morning, first race starts at around 7 a.m., so we're going early, trying to stay out of the wind a little bit. So really it's going to be how loose and in the right spot can we stay during the bus trip in order to be ready to race on Saturday, which has been up and down for us in the past. Most of the team, most of the upperclassmen, I guess sophomores and up, have seen the course, so they'll know kind of what to expect. A rowing course is kind of a rowing course. The weird part about, or the unique part about the Cooper is that it doesn't have a lot of warm-up space. So we'll spend some time on the ergs first to get our bodies moving before we hit the water. But as far as the venue, it's 6 lanes, fully buoyed. It's going to be one of the few first times we've been in starting docks for a while, which is a different experience and is going to, I think, pay off as we look into conference championships. So there's a couple ranked schools going this weekend. Then so Power 5, there's ACC, Big Ten, Ivy League, Penn, who was ranked last year from the Ivy, CAA, we've got, I believe, 4 CAA teams in, Northeastern, Delaware, Villanova, and us, I believe. Bucknell, who's 1V, won the Patriot League last year. Boston College, who we'll also see in a couple weeks. So it's a pretty deep field, and I think it's some place we really need to start seeing some of these top 10 teams, top 20 teams to really start pushing and see them more often, because the only way we're going to get to be in the top 20. We'll come back. The trailer will actually stay, well, you don't need to know that. So we'll take Sunday as a rest day. Then we'll get home late Saturday, take Sunday as our rest day, start back on the water Monday. Probably steady state Monday, skill and drill Tuesday, then start peaking up a little bit towards the end of the week. Then we're back on the traveling on Friday and racing on Saturday. So it's not a ton of turnaround time. Particularly these next 3 weeks, you really get like 4 days of practice, a day of travel, and a day of racing. So got to make the most of every one of these practices coming up.